Are you ready?
Yeah.
We finally did it. We finally made it out of the group chat. Everyone, welcome back to Oops All Energies. I'm one of your hosts, Kebin TCG, joined by my other host, my boy, JPEG. And Jovani is not here with us because he unfortunately could not go to Worlds, and I'm sure he'd be pretty happy to hear the stories, but he'd also be pretty bummed. So this is for you, Jovani.
Shout out to the bro.
Shout out to the bro. All right, what did we do? How long did we stay at Worlds?
God. Okay, so we got in on Thursday. We ended up leaving Sunday. So we had and we went from when we touched down to when we flew back out. It was literal nonstop. I think we maybe had a total of 8 hours of downtime in total across those 4 days, and I think on average we probably slept 6 hours each night was all.
Yep.
So maybe at most 2 hours a day. The longest we were waiting was for side event. Just so much to do, constantly go, man. I haven't been this wiped since I was like a 5-year-old at Disney.
So this brings up the question: should you go to Pokemon Worlds in the future? So in this podcast episode, we will cover that topic as a whole. We'll go over our day-by-day events, what we did, how was the Pokemon Center, what were the side events like, how was the competition, how was the atmosphere, how was all, the vendors, meet and greets, the partner booths, and all that stuff. This will be covered in this podcast episode. And we'll come to a decision. Should you go to Pokemon Worlds if you've never been? Or if you have been and haven't been in a while, should you go back? So I guess let's get started with day one. As Jake mentioned, we woke up pretty early, went to the airport at 4 or 5 in the morning, flew out at 7. Yeah.
I think I got up at 4:45, 5 o'clock,
Yep.
and got to the airport around 5:30, because I just jumped in the shower, got quick food to eat, and grabbed the bags and went.
Yep. I literally went to the bag check gate at Alaska, and I swear to goodness, I'm gonna sound like an old man, but they should not replace people with technology for scanning your bags for check-in, because that took absolutely forever, because the machine just would not read anyone's bags, and I just felt helpless. Anyways, besides that, yeah, just showed up at the airport and kind of just willed to stay awake before we got on our plane. Plane ride was there, but I maybe got an hour and a half of sleep going in and out, because I could never sleep on planes correctly.
Yeah, same.
So when we first touched down, we obviously took an Uber and we dropped our bags off at our hotel, which was a couple blocks away. It was like a mile and a half maybe away from the convention center.
That's right.
And
it was a 20-minute walk.
Yeah, and we had reservations for the Pokemon Center at
1:15.
1:15 p.m. So we arrived in Anaheim at the John Wayne Airport at 11. And we're like,
at 11 o'clock.
We're like, what do we do? So we just, hopped up or got off the plane, dropped off our bags, and kind of just walked to the convention center and just waited around. What did you see? What did you experience in those first few steps at the convention center?
Utter and complete awe at how many people there were, and how many different people there were. It was crazy. You turned around and there was 3 different languages being spoken around you.
Yeah.
It was amazing to see so many different people from so many different places. But then you got over to the Pokemon Center, and that was rough. That line was a good, I don't know, 400 people probably in total, all packed together there.
Yeah.
And then you had all the other lurkers outside of the exit that were the scalpers and everything, trying to be oh, you want to sell this? Oh, you want to sell that? And it's bro, I'm coming for me.
Yep. No, for sure. There's all types of people. good and bad. And even before we
Yeah.
get to the Pokemon Center aspect, like, there's just so many people that you ran and recognized. Like, people from our shop,
Hmm.
shout out Tabletop Village. People from our shop we saw, like, they already visited the Pokemon Center. They already checked out the grounds. They've been here for like a full 24 hours already. People have been showing up since Wednesday. I'm seeing like
Tuesday even.
Tuesday even, and I've been seeing like Pokemon influencers, which we'll talk about later. And it's just it's like Disneyland for Pokemon, man.
Yeah, yeah. It literally felt like a Disneyland in a way because you're not thinking about the rides and everything with it. You're instead thinking about all the different like cards and vendors and like games you'll get to play. Like it's still that same level of like mental stimulation that a Disney ride could give you, but it's just more complex.
Yep. Yep. Speaking of Disney, we were planning on going, but we determined with all of the last minute changes to our schedule, we could not afford to go to Disney. But I ended up, spoiler alert, I ended up spending pretty much the Disney money on this Pokemon trip, which we'll go into in a little bit. So the Pokemon Center. Before we even talk about us lining up, let's talk about the day before, Wednesday, when it opened. I heard it got pretty crazy.
Yeah, I heard Wednesday was like that was the actual nightmare. That was when things were actually bad because there was a lot of talk all over the weekend on Threads, on Twitter, X or whatever, on Instagram. Like everybody was talking about how poorly it was managed. Like Wednesday, yeah, of course they didn't anticipate how bad it was actually going to be, and they didn't anticipate like needing to enforce conduct because they kind of assumed like this is the Pokemon community. They probably have like a better handle on their manners than, some other fandoms might have. No, no, they got completely bombarded and had no way of being able to like do it like to fix it while it was occurring. They basically had to sit back while everything's like up in flames and be like, okay, how can we fix this the next day? How can we do better tomorrow? So, like, you have to give them a little bit of credit that Wednesday was just gonna be bad because it was the first day,
Yeah.
and it was, from what I was seeing, it was pretty bad on Wednesday. And I'm not blaming the staff. I'm blaming all you scalpers and everything. All you people that just can't be patient. Just a little bit of patience, man, please. And it's better for everybody, for the staff, for the kids, for you even.
Yeah, I always have to remind myself, like, that stuff, which is unfortunate to think about, shouldn't be shocking to me because I remember
Right.
last year the Costco fiasco, people literally pushing and punching each other in the
God.
face for
Blooming
151
water.
Blooming Waters. Yep. Ridiculous. That'll always come back to the front of my mind whenever I think about like crazy lines in Pokemon. All right, so enough about like the bad stuff. Let's talk about the good stuff. Vouchers. Did you get any Pokemon Center vouchers?
I sadly did not get any vouchers, but in all honesty, personally, the only vouchers that I really wanted were the ETB.
Mm-hmm.
The other things that were vouchers, they're, they're pretty cool. I didn't need to spend that much money on stuff, but I ended up doing it anyways. So
So, for those of you who don't know, there are select few items that you can get through vouchers that are only available through vouchers. So that's the Bear Walker skateboard, the limited edition Worlds one. The jukebox. Yes, there's a jukebox. It's like not a full size jukebox. It's like a mini jukebox. It's like a little rinky dink Bluetooth thing.
yeah, it's a sizable Bluetooth speaker,
Yeah,
basically, in
yeah,
the shape of a jukebox.
yeah.
It's pretty dope.
It's pretty dope.
It's stylized.
It's stylized. There's a shiny Gyarados figure made by Jazzwares, and then the two ETBs for Black Bolt and White Flare. Now I got all of the vouchers except the jukebox. Now that's a bad thing because I felt obligated to buy every one of those vouchers just because I had them, And I'm very much an impulse buyer, so I did end up buying them. But I also ended up trading the skateboard for the jukebox because that's what I wanted. But aside from the vouchers, let's talk about day one because we had 2 days to visit the Pokemon Center. We both had two reservations, one each. Day one, walk me through your day one experience.
Let's see. We waited in line outside, and I ended up getting a sunburn on the back of my neck. So we were probably outside for a good like 30 to 45 minutes.
Yeah.
Because once it was early in the afternoon, there the sun started to come out, and it was beating down, man. Once we got inside, though, we then had our bags checked. They were zip tying people's bags, right?
Yeah.
And I'm coming up to the area, and they're like, how are we gonna do this one? I have a Pokemon Center backpack that has like metal pop clips for like locking the bag down. It's just a flap, so it's like I could even go around the flap technically to put stuff in. I'm not gonna do that. I'm an honest person. Whatever. They were finally just like, whatever. We'll zip tie it, and if it looks like you took it off, then then somebody will talk to you. Whatever. It wasn't an issue. So then we go through some metal detectors. Pretty standard stuff for, regionals and major events like this and whatnot. Not a big deal. They then corral us for another, 30 to 45 minutes. So we're like, okay, let's take some pictures with the stuff that's here in the entryway first, and then we'll go into the corral. Wait there for about, 45 minutes. Then we finally get into the center. I black out and don't remember a thing. I just started grabbing stuff, man. I literally, I didn't even say a word. I was just thinking in my head, yeah, that one. Yeah, that one. Yeah, that one. I grabbed, I don't know, 2 different deck boxes. I grabbed 2, the dice set. I grabbed play mats. I grabbed everything in the Rockabilly stuff. I grabbed a new backpack because, honestly, the old one was starting to fall apart. It was, man... Oh my god, I hauled out with so much stuff. And it was absolutely worth it. So after grabbing everything, it then took about another hour for checkout.
Oh my gosh.
Spent I don't know, but maybe half an hour of actually going around and shopping in there,
Yeah.
And for the most part, when we were in there, people were pretty good about it. Yeah. I would like to say. People weren't pushing and shoving or going hog wild. Yeah, sure, people were kind of maybe, rushing over to something as they saw it was getting restocked. But nobody was, being crazy over it. They weren't shoving each other. They weren't being, complete jerks to everybody. No, they were just a little rushed. No big deal. Everybody was. And so, yeah, you had things like boogie boards. You had mugs, milkshake glasses, puzzles... play mats from the regular Pokemon Center, sleeves. Then you had all the Rockabilly stuff, man. Check that out right now. Pull that up right now. Just look up Rockabilly Anaheim 2025. Look at that collection. Woo-wee. Had to get me everything in that.
So clean. It is so clean.
Oh, it's so good. So good.
So, I specifically remember watching us split, and then every now and then I just watch you from a distance, and this man literally blacked out, just grabbing. He'd walk by a shelf and said, "That looks good," and put it in his bag, and then walk away, and then put something else. It was a sight to behold. But I was pretty much the same way. So when they did corral us in the second portion of the line, I think we were in the Bulbasaur line, and we met up with we talked with this one guy, and he kind of stuck with us as a group. But as we were moving from one section to the other, it was like a stampede. You felt like you're moving as a huge crowd of 200 people, give or take, in that line. It felt like, and you're just trying to make your way into this roped off line, but you can't really turn a corner because people are cutting in front of you. But other than that, it was pretty smooth sailing afterwards once you got your bag and you step foot into the Pokemon Center. Like I mentioned, I just had a list. I came in with a list and I went over the list. I got everything I wanted for day one, because I know for day two I was going to get more stuff. But for day one, I got stuff that wasn't on my list. the Pokemon Center exclusive Pikachu figure. I didn't know that was a thing, and I said, of course I have to get it. A mug. I didn't need a mug, but I like mugs, so I got that. I didn't get the milkshake cups. I really wanted them, but I think I'll just buy it secondhand if I really decide in the future that I want it. They're like $20. It's not that expensive. So I expect it to be like $40 down the line. So it's not that bad, right?
It shouldn't be too terrible. There's gonna be stuff from that is gonna be a whole lot worse, like that boogie board.
That boogie board. I wanted to get the boogie board, but I really couldn't see myself just shipping it back home because that was the only way I would get it back. Like I would not put that in check-in. Obviously that can't be a carry-on. It's too freaking wide, and shipping it would cost at least $50 because the size of that box would be enormous. Gosh, that boogie board's sick though. It's really cool.
So cool. It has the same pattern as the Anaheim 25 jersey, not the pinstripe jersey, but the colored jersey.
Yes.
It's like it's got the same design as that, so it's so sick. It's like part of the key art.
Speaking of jerseys, my one goal was to grab the baseball pinstripe jersey, and when I went, they only had like 5XL, 4XL, 6XL sizes. I'm like, okay, so they don't have my sizes. I'll wait. And then I listened to another employee said, yeah, if you just wait a while, they'll restock it. They never restock that thing on Thursday. I'm like, okay, cool. So I'm kind of stressing because we had to pick up our badges at 2 to 4, and it was like 3. It was like 3 at this time. So I texted Jake. I'm like, hey, are you in the checkout line? Where are you? And he says, I'm under the Vanillite sign, the purple one. And I look under it. And I'm like, I don't see him. So I give him a call, and he says, I'm under the purple Vanillite sign. And then that was it. I'm like, did he hang up on me? And then I walk around and I find another purple Vanillite sign, and there was Jake looking around for me. I'm like, dude, there's another Vanillite sign. He's like, oh yeah, my phone just died. I'm sorry, man. I'm like, oh, all right. I thought you were mad at me for some reason, like for not understanding the Vanillite sign.
No, not at all. I was just like, holy crap. We were getting into there because like the heat was killing my phone, and then also, what else was it about my phone? There was something else. I think it wasn't Go, but it was something else that was like up on my phone that I had been doing. It was probably looking through Instagram or whatever.
Yeah.
And I was just killing it in the heat.
Yep. It was funny because they zip tied my bag. I put my phone charger in there and like my spare battery, and I was vlogging and I couldn't bring out my camera because it was in my backpack and they locked it. And my phone was like also dying, so I had to vlog just very little. So I was like, well, day 1 at the Pokemon Center vlog is could be a little scarce for video, so I'll make it up for day 2, which we'll talk about in a second. But yeah, it took, like as Jake mentioned, like an hour to check out, and then we beelined it straight towards badge pickup. And man, was that process so easy, and it was so rewarding because at the end we got 2 packs of Destined Rivals for picking up a badge.
Yeah, they don't give you packs at regionals. They just give you the promo card and the playmat, which is cool. And the competitors also get, like, the competitors for Worlds got, like, Paradise Resort, a playmat, and I think one other thing on top of the 2 packs and all that. So, like, oh, and the code for the Toad's cool in SV. So, like, everybody got that. Everybody got 2 packs. Competitors got a little bit more. So, I mean, not bad. I'm okay with that.
Yeah. Where do you remember what we did for food on Thursday?
Oh God.
Did we go straight to the hotel and like get Red Robin?
Yes, we went. Yes, you're right. We went straight to the hotel, and then we went and got Red Robin there nearby.
Yeah, it's like literally across the street. So that was Thursday, and then we went. We went to the Target. Before we end up, we stopped at the Target to get like some snacks that we barely touched, because we need food because we know we're gonna probably be skipping lunch with how busy we are. So I grabbed like Cliff Bars and stuff like that, and we ended up finding some cards, but not Pokemon cards. What'd you end up picking up?
No, I ended up picking up some Yu-Gi-Oh cards. I'm forgetting what the set of it was. I know it had F-Zero on the box, Utopic F-Zero.
Mm-hmm.
Those of you that do play Yu-Gi-Oh, you'll know. It was a 4-pack box, it was $17.99 retail. It was pretty interesting because I actually pulled that Utopic Future off of the front of the box. Yeah, it was Utopic Future Zexal. That was
yeah.
a 0-0 card. Yeah, it was the one on the front of the box. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I ended up buying Digimon cards because I felt FOMO because Jake found cards and I was like, I want some cards. So I Cyber Sleuth. If you know Digimon Cyber Sleuths, they had those packs going on right there. And we actually ran into some people. A couple of people actually stopped Jake admiring his denim jacket that he bought, the exclusive Rockabilly denim jacket with the Arcanine. He got lots of compliments, and we got stopped by these two people, and we just kind of talked in Target for like 10-15 minutes chatting about Pokemon and how excited we are for it.
Shout out to Ash.
Yeah, it's a great community, man. It's so cool.
Shout out to Ash in Miami.
Yup. And then back at the hotel, I was reviewing my receipts. So, okay. For those of you listening, under or over 300 for Jake and I. What do you like each? What do you think? And I'll go with my answer. I'll say my answer. Think of yours. I was just over $400 for my first purchase. What about you?
I hit just under $600 for my first purchase.
Yep. We did that. That's the Disney money.
Sleeves, dice sets, binders for the family. Like I got stuff for my brother. I got stuff for my parents. I got a lot of stuff for me. So like, yeah, that was the big one. Was the first one to get some of that stuff out of the way, and some plushies for some friends. So.
The plushies really add up. So I ended up buying the first day, like obviously deck boxes, the damage and dice counter set, like one of them. And 4 plushies, the exclusive plushies, each of them were $25 each except the Machamp. Machamp was $35. So that's well over $100 just in 4 plushies. And I'm like, oh boy, this is going to rack it up. And then what didn't help is I bought the Letterman jacket and it was like $130 retail. So when they rung it up on the cashier register, they automatically added tax. So I was like, wait. Why is it $140? Oh wait, that's right. It's like a 7.8% tax or something. It's crazy.
Yeah, dude. I almost bought the Letterman with that denim jacket, and then went like, because I was gonna get the Letterman because they were out of the jacket in my size.
Yep.
But then like we were in line, and the one employee, I was like looking at it while we were in line because we were next to that display stack. And she was restocking it, and I was looking for it. She's looking at me then. She goes, what size are you looking for? And I'm like, medium. And she's like, I have one right here. And I'm like, oh my God, thank God.
So clutch. So clutch. So that pretty much rounds out our first day. Because after that, obviously, went back to the hotel, had dinner. We were beat. We've been up since like 4 or 5 in the morning. And it's like, what, 10 or midnight by the time we finally got settled down?
Yeah, I think it was closer to like 11 o'clock sometime between like 10:30 and 11 when we kind of got settled in.
Yeah. So that ends day 1, and day 2. This was a little different, but I want to say the Pokemon Center was really the focus of the day because it took up yet again another 3 hours of waiting. But before we get to that, let's talk about the before, because we started our day off at like, what, 8 in the morning?
That was Friday. So that was we got up early. We got up early because we were trying to see the opening ceremony.
That's right. Yes, the opening ceremony.
So we got up at like 6:30, and we got there at like right as doors opened at like 8:10, somewhere right in there.
Mm-hmm.
So I got a little bit of some time in to go hit the vendors, hit those up a little bit. Didn't get much before it was like, okay, it's like 8:45. I should make my way over there. Yeah, nah, it was filled, dude. The whole stage area was filled in.
Yep.
So I ended up getting put into the overflow over in the other hall, which was still cool to see that on the screen and know that, like, yeah, that's over in the other room. It's just there's way too many freaking people here, man. Way too many. But that's okay because it's all people that are there for the same thing. It was just crazy. So many people. So many people.
Yeah, when we were about to approach the convention center, I looked down at my neck or my chest and I'm like, I forgot my badge. So I had to turn around and do a walk of shame. Yeah. And it was like already pretty warm out in the morning. So, and I had a heavy backpack on. So I had all my gear, like cards and camera gear. So I was like, man, this is going to suck. So I went back to the hotel, grabbed my badge, and then headed back. And I also got stuck in the overflow, and I was put into like the adjacent hall where they just had it on screens too. But I got to check out like the museum and stuff before it got too busy. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, that was really dope. I got the chance to kind of look at all that a little bit and like see some of the stuff that was easy to and quick to look at, like the top 8 bags with the hat, the champion's hat and bag, the trophies. Like that was all really cool. And then what did we do from there? I think from there, I think I hit. So
No, I think you went back to the vendors to look for more singles and stuff.
Yeah, for more IRs, I did. Yeah, that's right. I was going and looking for black and white IRs. That's what I was getting at that time, and I was pretty successful on quite a few of those. I got the Samurott, I got the Zorarg. There were a couple of others that I was able to get that I was looking for. I think Bisharp, Vanillux. There some of the ones that were a little bit harder to get because they're stage 2s.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I ended up just checking out Hall C, which is where like the museum, the Maridon bike from that was Toyota's making or Honda.
Yeah,
Toyota, the actual Maridon bike, and it was on its wheels mode. They changed it to all 4s like later in the week, but like it was on like its wheels. It was pretty cool. And I was walking around and I saw a couple of influencers and like content creators that like I followed, and I was just like too shell shocked to like go up to them and say hello because they looked like they were busy. I'm like, oh, I just want to say hi, but I'm just gonna keep going about my day. But that was pretty cool to see. And then eventually I found Jake, and then believe it or not, 1 or 2 hours passed by, and we're like, we should probably go to the Pokemon Center for our 11:15 time slot.
Yeah.
The line for the Pokemon Center this time, I think it was delayed by like half an hour to 40 minutes just to get inside through security.
Yeah, that sounds right, because they were still doing like our time was at what 11:15.
Yep.
We were still doing like 10:30 when we got there.
Yep.
Almost 11.
Yep. They were running a bit behind, but we eventually got there through it, and the Pokemon Center day 2 was a lot easier to navigate. They learned their lesson from the first 2 days, and it was just much more better managed and less chaotic. And the checkout line was like less than half an hour. It was so much shorter.
Yeah, much faster.
For your second day at the Pokemon Center, how much did you spend?
About $225. That was just getting a bunch of more TCG gear and whatnot.
Yeah.
People and dice set and things. So yeah.
That's not bad.
The last few straggler things I needed.
Yeah. So it's about what, 800 total for both days for you.
About 800 total. Yeah.
So my second day was a little different. My second day purchase. Sorry, my phone went off. My second day purchase ended up being a little over $800. Now I can explain. Not all of it was for me. I was getting some stuff for some friends that asked for it, so I was a proxy. But I also redeemed all my vouchers in that one sitting. And I was like, I don't want this skateboard. And the days leading up to Worlds, I like reached out on my Instagram, my local network, and on Reddit. and I found a hit on Reddit. I just commented on a couple different threads, like on Pokemon Center, on VGC, on Pokemon TCG subreddit, whatever. And a couple people DM'd me, and this one person seemed like the most believable, or like just didn't want to like buy it off me. They just wanted to do a 1-for-1 trade and pay the difference. I was like, yeah, let's do it, because they had the jukebox that I wanted. So after the Pokemon Center, I waited outside for them, and then we finally met up, and we did the exchange, and I got the difference. So it actually ended up reducing my total cost from $800 to 8,765 to about $550, because that skateboard was $350 without tax.
Yeah.
So yeah, I didn't do too bad, but that's still a lot of money to throw around. It was all the Pokemon. I was so glad we were done with the Pokemon Center by the second day.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Don't get me wrong, I love the place, but I was sick of it by the second day. They were running out of stuff too.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's, see, my only like actual gripe issue that I have with how everything was going was like when things were being stocked and when things were being handed out. Because, for example, when we went on Thursday, there was this line at like a handout window. There were like the window where, you know, some of the event staff was handing specific items out. I got in that line because I found out that it was the Rockabilly playmat and deck box.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm getting in that line. Okay, so then on Friday, the next day, we get in there, and I'm like, oh, okay, well, it's the window again, and it has a line. I don't need the deck box. I don't need the playmat. I already got the... Nope. That's not what they were handing out. They were handing out the dice set. That was the only dice set I missed, and the only thing in the Rockabilly line that I missed. Completely frustrated me when I found that out 3 hours after we got out of there, that like, wait, hang on a second, they changed it on us?
Yep.
And they're doing different things for different groups? Wait a minute.
Yep.
Wait a minute. Like, that was genuinely frustrating. Destined Rivals ETBs came out at the end of the weekend.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden on Sunday, they're just like, yeah, we're going to get rid of the rest of the black and white ETBs. We're just going to start selling them. No more vouchers needed. Like, whoa!
Oh,
That's not cool.
It's all the people who didn't redeem the vouchers that it went back into circulation, I bet. So there is a little benefit if you go to like one of the last Sunday time slots, but again, you don't need to go more than twice.
No, not at all.
No. Yeah, at least, you know, for Pokemon cards at the Pokemon Center, we picked up a Shrouded Fable, right? We got a booster bundle of that, just one each.
We love Shrouded Fable.
Get that Fez. I did end up getting both of the ETBs, as I mentioned, and I did give Jake the white flare one because he didn't get any.
No,
Black Bolt one. He didn't get any. I'm like, well, we're here. It's you and me. Got to share the love. So he got half of what he wanted, and I got half of it too. So yeah. Enough about the Pokemon Center. What did we do post Pokemon Center? We went and grabbed lunch, right?
Yeah, we did end up going and grabbing lunch. We went to, okay, so for those of you that have ever been to that little corner of Anaheim, you know, you've been to Disneyland, the convention center in Anaheim right there, whatever. You know that pizza place that just says pizza on it? For those of you that have like never walked in there, I finally walked in there because I've been in Anaheim multiple times in my life, a couple, you know, dozen. So it was like, okay, I've never been in here. We finally got to figure this out. It was pretty gas.
It was pretty gas.
Pizza, man.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I mean, I guess unless it has the AJ seal of approval, I guess my opinion isn't quite valid. But I'll say that it was pretty good. It was good for quick, easy, simple food.
Yes.
That didn't make you feel like garbage afterward.
It was greasy, but it was like that good grease. You know what I mean? From like Costco pizza, but it wasn't Costco
like
pizza.
The cheeses, oils.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, it was refreshing. It hit because when I tend to get hangry, obviously, when I don't eat, and I just kind of fall silent. So, like, whenever we eat lunch, and it always just picks me right back up. I'm like, all right, I'm ready to go back to the convention center and do whatever. So after that, we checked out vendors again, and then we signed up for a build and battle tournament.
Yeah, that's right. We've signed up for the building battle for that afternoon. Or for the evening?
Yeah, it was like 3, 4, 3. It started at 3, it ended at 6. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Or almost 7.
Yeah.
It was like almost 7 o'clock. That was insane. Like, so one of the problems about Worlds, and it's not even necessarily, it's not the judges' faults. I wouldn't even say it's necessarily the event organizers' faults, but there wasn't enough judges hired for this last weekend. Like, there was enough for the competition.
Yeah.
There was not enough to be running side events at the same time as the competition.
Yeah.
So apparently on Friday they just like canceled all side events at one point. Like they just finally said we're not doing this.
Mm-hmm.
We literally don't have the judges to do it.
Yep.
So then the next day, which is for I think that's Friday, because Thursday there were some side events. They just canceled them outright because they could not handle them. Friday, that was really rough with that building battle, because it was all the judges that were kind of like able to get pulled from TCG as TCG got smaller. But like it wasn't small enough from the eliminations in day one, from people dropping, etc., etc. Like, because it's Worlds. These guys are going to try to see as how far they can possibly go. They're not going to drop. So, due to the lack of dropping, and them anticipating getting judges from players dropping, there just was not enough for any of the side events. We were doing the build and battle, and they just ended up, like, giving they gave us all, what, round 4 at the end, right?
Yep.
Yeah, they gave us all round 4 because, like, it was, I don't know, almost an hour between, like, round 2 and 3.
Yeah.
And a good, like, 30 to 45 between round 1 and 2.
Yep.
And we were waiting around after we had already, like, started it up. Like, we were waiting for quite a while.
Mm-hmm. I want to surmise that Friday was just a day of waiting, because you had to wait pretty much half your time at the Pokemon Center. And then you gotta wait half your time at the build-in battle. And I got a little frustrated too, because I wanted to check out more of the like Hall C with the museum and the activities, and then check out the partners in the vendor booths and like the main floor and watch the competition a little bit. And I got to do that, but like I felt like I was held up because I was waiting for this build-in battle to be over. But you know, that wasn't the worst part of it. The Friday was all right. It was all right.
Friday was still a good day. We had there was a kid from Tabletop. Shout out to Esteban, kid's dad. He wasn't able to get a Pokemon Center reservation when he first signed up for Worlds, because this was his first Worlds, and like he was, kid was kind of like gung ho and doing it, and like his dad was like, "You want to do this? You can figure out how we do this, and I'll let you do this, and I'm going to come with, but you figure out how this works." He didn't realize he had to make reservations for the Pokemon Center.
Oh.
Found out from one of my friends at Tabletop that, like, hey, he's going, but he didn't get a reservation. Do you have some space? Due to the situation of Jovani and another friend of ours not being able to come to the tournament with us, we were like, yeah, we got space. Let's do it. And so that was really rewarding, because the kid was super excited about it. His dad was super duper duper thankful towards us about it. I caught him a couple of days later. Like, that was probably the highlight of the day for me for Friday, because yeah, sure, it was a lot of waiting around, but we were able to give somebody, and especially somebody from Tabletop, which I think is really cool, like, we actually were able to fulfill something of their trip that they really wanted to do and were afraid that they weren't going to be able to do.
Yeah.
Like, we helped it pull through for them.
Mm-hmm.
That's like, it's amazing.
That's what community is about here in Pokemon. That's what we love to do, man.
Yep.
So
No.
to wrap off, to wrap up Friday, we ended up going to downtown Disney for dinner, right?
Oh, dear Lord, yeah.
That dinner was absurd because we went
That
to this
was
place
insane.
with like what was the milkshake phrase that they trademarked? Do you remember?
So yeah, we went to Black Tap. It's called the Crazy Shake.
Crazy shake.
Trademarked by Black Tap. It was pretty wild. Um, we both ordered the cake batter.
Yep.
We did not anticipate an entire slice of cake on top of the milkshake.
Yep.
Like,
It,
huh? I still need to eat my burger.
it came out first, man. It came out first.
Ah! It was, dude, it was so good, but it was also because it was like ice cream cake, so
Yeah.
it was really good. It was like, there's no way I'm eating all of this food right here. This is way too many calories for me and my tiny body to handle.
Dude, it it was so funny because I was like, oh yeah, I could definitely finish this before the food comes. Like I get halfway there, I'm like, I feel like I'm getting sick. I'm also lactose intolerant, but like I'm down to clown with milkshakes with the bros any time of the day, any time of the week, right? And by the time the burger gets there, they give me this massive burger and like lots of fries, and I'm like, oh, I don't think I'm gonna finish this. And lo and behold, I did not finish it. That was a good burger. Did not finish it. It was a really good burger. Walked it off though. We walked it off from
Oh
going back
yeah,
to Disney to the
dude.
hotel.
That wasn't even an issue. Like that's the best part about this weekend is that we ate so many like burgers, we ate pizza, and like other like fried food, and it literally didn't mess my stomach up whatsoever
No, I felt
because we
fine.
just kept walking.
Yeah. Well, I
So
did get a little punished the morning after, but I felt fine.
fair.
Saturday, it was kind of the same deal, right? We woke up early. We got there just a little later. We got there at what, 9?
Yeah, we got there. Yeah, just a little bit after 9. Our players were already like the sad part is that our masters did not do very well on day 1. The only one that did do well, actually, I take that. Well, no, two of them did well. Two of them did well. Aban Ahmed.
Shout
Aban
out to
Ahmed finished
Bon.
with 100. He was still playing in day 2.
Yo,
Cal Connor was still playing in day 2.
let's go.
Um, I know that Cameron Shinoy and Ray Chen both dropped out at the during day 1 after about rounds. I believe Ray played 7 rounds, or she might have played all 8.
Hmm.
But last I checked, when her record was like her act. No, yeah, she did drop after round 7. I did look at her record. She ended with 3-2-2 Toad Scroll,
Well,
which
could be
is
worse.
Dude, it could be so much worse. I give Ray a lot of respect that she was at least in a quite even record and still went like mostly positive on what would be wins.
Yeah,
Because the way I see it is that those 2 ties equate to 1 win in my book.
yeah.
So essentially, her record was 4-2, which
Hmm.
isn't bad, but with where it was with having ties, you're not getting into top cut anymore, and you're not getting into top 8. So I completely understand where Ray was coming from. And it wasn't enough points to get in. It wasn't enough points to get into day 2. I don't think, anyways. And then Shinoy ended out with 3-3. Lee. I caught up with Lee at one point. He did not do very well, sadly, either. He had. I know it was 3 losses. I don't remember how many wins. Might have been a 4-3 drop. But yeah. Our Masters players kind of had a rough time. Our Seniors players definitely had a rough time. I think, if I remember correctly, all of our Seniors were out of day 1 pretty early on,
Man.
sadly. Richard went 3-3 with Eevee Box. James... James... James didn't do well. He didn't tell us his record. We asked him how his day one went, and he just shook his head. So I don't that frustrated me and made me feel bad for the kid. Yeah, but then our juniors, man, also had a rough time. But Judah should have been there at the finals.
Mm-hmm.
Kenji ended up going 3-3. Annabelle went 2-1-3. She had a rough day one. And then Judah ended out day one in the juniors with 4-1-1, which juniors only played 6 rounds. So 4-1-1 was still in running for top cut.
Yeah.
So Judah was still gunning it, man. I was watching him at the beginning of day 2, and essentially he had called over a judge because his opponent had done an attack. His opponent was playing Gardevoir, he was playing Raging Bolt. His opponent had done an attack. His opponent had to attach the energy for it, of course, Psychic Embrace. He didn't have Gardevoir down, though.
Oh.
Right. So his opponent had taken the prize and was like, oh, wait, I had Gardevoir down. So then Judah's like, I don't know if you had that in your hand or if you got that off of the prizes.
Yeah.
So Judah's trying to call over a judge, and the other kid speaks Japanese. Judah's bilingual, but his Japanese isn't as strong as a native speaker's, of course.
Yep.
He's a natively speaking English kid, but his mother speaks Japanese, right? So he can understand it pretty well, but not everything, and especially not like a native speaker that's speaking fast.
Yeah.
So Judah's trying to talk to the judge, trying to have a translator come over for it. And the judge basically, like, brushed it off. The judge basically said, we don't grab translators for judge calls. And it's like, hang on a second. That's not true. So as soon as the match ends, he goes over to his dad and his mom. And I go over and following him because I'm like, Judah, wait, what was the judge call? And his parents were just like, yeah, what was that about? And he starts telling us what happened. Dude, his dad got up as soon as Judah said the judge said that the translators don't come over for judge calls. He instantly got up and was like, that's BS. He said the full-on words in front of his kids and everything. He was like, that is BS. Come with me. We're going to find a head judge. And, like, it was a whole ordeal. They got, like, one of the event organizers even to come over about it because the conduct was just out of line on what Josiah was claiming. Like, you're supposed to pull over a translator for the judge call so that both players do fully understand what's going on here. What?
Yeah.
It was just like the judge really wanted to brush it off and not have to do a judge call on juniors, which seemed to be the case for the weekend. A lot of the judges were being really lenient on the juniors in competition. Now, it's one thing to be lenient on juniors in side events, because they're side events. It's not $125,000 on the line, whatever.
Yeah.
But, like, if it's going to be in competition, as a judge, you have to apply the rule book as it's written, no matter what their age is. Like, that's how it works. So Josiah has put in like a full-on complaint about this judge, and man, I don't blame him for being as mad as he was.
Yeah.
It was completely fair. He's arguing with, the head judge, event organizer about this, and they basically tell him, like, there's nothing we can do right now because the match already ended, blah, 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 blah.
Ugh.
And they're like, we don't want to make a scene at Worlds kind of thing. And it's like, that's just, okay, really? Like, yeah. So juniors judges, I mean, it is what it is. And it was, that's not the way it should have happened.
Yeah.
If you ask me, it's like absolutely not the way it should have happened. Judah should have had like a freaking 7-1-1 for a record going into top cut. That kid is so ridiculously good, knows the games in and out, wants it so incredibly hard. He's just intimidated by judge calls because, like, everybody feels like there's so much weight to it. But I personally, whenever I'm in the shop with them, I'm like, call the judge. You have every right to. It's about the game, not about the players. It's about the game that you're bringing the judge over.
Yep.
So he just basically some of these kids took advantage of him for being a little timid about calling a judge.
Yeah.
Which whether those kids were doing it on purpose or not, it is moot, because they definitely were not intentionally. I mean, maybe they were doing some things that like maybe they shouldn't have, but whatever. Judah deserved it. Judah worked so hard this year.
Yeah.
He ended out going 4-3. So 4-3-1.
So shout out to Tabletop Village and all the competitors. You guys worked so hard to make it to Worlds, and we'll see you next year at 2026, right? All you guys better be there. Yeah.
You will all be there next year. I'm talking to all of you from Tabletop. You will be there.
Mm-hmm.
I know you will be there because you were already there this year, and many of you were there the year before. It doesn't have to stop. It never stops, and you already know it never stops. So just keep going. We're right behind you the whole way.
Let's go. All right. Let's do a little acceleration here. We're going to use extreme speed for the rest of this podcast because we're running up here on time. So Saturday, the rest of Saturday, we met up with our guy Dylan, our boy Dylan, and shout out to Dylan. He brought the energy, he brought the vibes, he brought the car to bring us to in and out. We ended up playing side events for the rest of the day. Did not expect us to do that because we learned that you could get the Paradise Resort promo card that competitors get. You could get that on the prize wall. It's 500 points. So we grinded as much as we could on Saturday, and we made the choice to grind on Sunday.
Yeah, we didn't go into the arena, sadly. I did watch the arena stream. That was pretty gnarly. That floor, that's pretty gnarly, and supposedly they're doing it again next year at Chase Arena.
Oh boy.
So, I mean, it's going to be pretty dope. It's going to be pretty sick.
Yep, next year for sure, we're going to have to check out that arena. Because we grinded at side events, I feel like we'll do a better time management to do it a lot earlier in the week, maybe, so we can watch everything at the arena. The thing with the side events is, on Sunday, I didn't get 500 points, but for 10 points, you get one booster pack, and I had 360 points. I gave like half of it to Dylan because he only needed like 150 or so to like get the promo card. And I was like, I just want booster packs at this point. So I ended up getting 25 packs. But like basically all of Sunday was just us running side event. And in between the downtime, I used that time to check out the photo op. So I got a photo with Pikachu, a photo with Snorlax, a photo op with the Blastoise and Charizard statues.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Red and blue statues. I got a free Nintendo Switch 2 drawstring bag. It's not very well made. It's a promo bag. Just gotta, just vlog and check out the whole scenery and really take my time going through like the events and museum aspects of the show. And what was funny is there was a scavenger hunt going on. And if you have a creator badge, you are given access to give away pins for the scavenger hunt. And people saw me vlogging and they immediately thought I had a creator badge because I'm a content creator, just, making his content. And they were like, hey, do you have the badge? I'm like, what? No, I'm just vlogging, dude. I'm a spectator just like you. And never have I felt like imposter syndrome more than that moment. But there's always a future. But yeah, side events was cool. Sunday, we played all day Sunday, and yeah, that was pretty much it for me.
Yeah. I grinded out with those side events. I ended up going 3-1, 3-1, 2-2, 3-1.
Dude, you balled out.
Yeah, I went pretty crazy. I did go pretty crazy. I played mostly Joltik Box and Toad Scroll this weekend, and Joltik Box was doing some work for me.
Let's go.
Oh boy.
I played Typhlosion. I thought about switching to Raging Bolt, but I'm like, I'm gonna stick it out for my boy, and I did okay. I definitely could have
Yeah.
won more, but I did okay.
I mean, honestly, you would have gotten enough tickets if we could have done more on demands instead of
Yeah.
sitting around like a lot of the time,
Oh
like
my gosh.
waiting on them all the time.
Yep. We
That's
tried.
what I'm saying.
We tried to do on-demand events once. Like they ended. Dylan and Jake ended up doing on-demand the last half of the day, but like the day before we tried, or earlier in the day we tried doing it. It ended up not happening because our main TCG standard tournament happened, and our name never got called for on-demand events. So
Yeah.
it is what it is. And then yeah, we went to the airport at like 6 p.m. and our flight was at 9. And we ate. We ate at IHOP in the morning.
Oh
Skipped
yeah. You
skipped
guys did eat at
lunch,
IHOP.
and
Shoot,
then
since you were driving.
didn't eat until like 7 p.m. at the airport at like some diner.
Yeah, it was Ruby's to go. I think is what it was. In
Yeah,
John Wayne.
yeah. It's a decent place. I got the
Yeah,
seafood
pretty good.
basket. So Jake, let's answer the question. I want your opinion. I want your answer first. Should you go to Pokemon Worlds in the future?
With my biased opinion, yes. Duh. If you aren't going, who are you? What are you even doing with yourself? There is nothing more important on that weekend. Nothing at all in life ever could be more important than Worlds. If you want my unbiased opinion, I would say, if, what do you want to do? It really, really depends on what you want to do. If you are ready to spend money, if you are ready to like play side events and go crazy on them, if you are genuinely like looking to make content, cosplay, like it's like a genuine convention. You have to have things that you will want to go see. Like Bear Walker had a board carving demo. Sarah B had a panel where he was talking about stuff. Like you have to go with like an intent of knowing what you want to do to some degree,
Yes.
because like if you want to go and just play in side events, yeah dude, you can literally just go and play in side events the whole time and earn a bunch of prizes. Like you could totally do that, or you can get a group of like 4 or 5 together and go into the Pokemon Center multiple times type thing. Like
Mm-hmm.
if you're willing to spend money, it's a good time. If you are not willing to spend money, it's because you still have to spend some money on the side events. So you have to be willing to spend some money. If you're not willing to spend money for this event, it really is just better to like, you know, come for the day and hang out outside and not pay for the tickets and see cosplayers and like other things outside. If you're not interested in any of those panel activities, looking at the history of the TCG, the VG, and etc., the vendors, the side events, if those don't interest you, then it's not for you. But all of that stuff, if you're into Pokemon like we think you are, one of those things is going to interest you. You're
Mm-hmm.
going to want to get that exclusive merch. You're going to want to hit up those vendors. You're going to want to play side events. You're going to want to check out the history. You're going to want to hang out with the creators and see them, get to know them, talk to them, see all the different cosplayers and everything. Cosplay yourself. There's something for every facet of this fandom. Shoot, man, there was one guy that was like, he had all of the old events. He had events for Diamond and Pearl, for freaking like Emerald, Ruby and Sapphire. He had the Deoxys event for Emerald. He had the legendary shiny dogs for like Heart Gold and Soul Silver. It was, bro, there's something for everybody. You want to come check out retro stuff. You want to check out even some of the guys who do like old school modding stuff. There were guys talking about that. There's everything. If you love Pokemon in any way, shape, or form, it is worth going to.
I wholeheartedly agree. And to answer the question I just asked, yeah, if you are a fan of Pokemon, you should check it out, even if you're not into the competitive scene and you're just like casually into like TCG, VGC, or Go, or even like Unite or whatever. Just go and check it out. You don't even need a full weekend pass, just like a day pass. Like you can buy a Sunday pass and check it out. As Jake mentioned, go in with a plan. I can't remember if I read a comment or I heard it passing by. I feel like I read it on Reddit, but someone said I didn't have a great time. It's kind of overrated. Well, I don't think they had a plan, because all they said is that all they did was the Pokemon Center, and that was it. Well, yeah, if you just do the Pokemon Center, you're gonna have an awful time, because waiting in line for like 3 hours and like being in the store for another hour, it kind of sucks. And not doing anything after that, you got to do more than that. You got to go check out the scene and kind of really take it in. But yeah, just do it. Do keep in mind, it does cost a bit of money, especially in these metro areas. So go as a group.
It's gonna be more expensive this next year.
Yeah, especially in San Francisco. So go as a group. Get like split a room, split a Airbnb, split a hotel room. Maybe if you're feeling brave, split a suite. You know, a little more space for all you guys, because you're gonna be with each other all day. Ball out, but remember to save some money at the Pokemon Center to ball out there.
Yeah.
Any closing thoughts, comments, concerns?
Gardevoir is an overrated TCG deck.
You heard it here first. Gardevoir is an overrated TCG deck. No one's ever said it before.
I mean, cool and all that it won Worlds, but again, really? Justin, I'm so sorry, bro, but you should have just popped the Dusknoir.
Oof.
It would have advanced the game state just a little bit more. Come on, man. Dragapult's better than that. We all know. You could do better than that. I knew, man.
This podcast will come out before my vlog will. I took like 4 or 5 hours of footage on my camera. It's gonna be I feel like my editing software is just gonna keep crashing, because it's just trying to keep up with with all the. I need to upgrade my RAM, I swear. Anyways, my name is Kevin TCG, joined by my co-host JPEG, aka Jake, aka the boy, the dog, the king of Blastoise, and this is Oops All Energies. See you guys next episode. And we finally made it out of the group chat. Woohoo!